Hello everyone, I'm Silver. It is actually Saturday, April 7th. However, it may actually be the 11th by the time you're actually listening to this, especially since I plan to release it on the correct day, of course. I just want to say a quick hello to all new viewers and a great welcome back to all returning viewers. If you tuned in last time and decided to come back, I really do appreciate it. Anyway, how have you all been? I've been great, and it's been a very few days around here since the last time we talked. However, still got lots to talk to you guys about. We got some new segments and a few guests. So I should probably get started, right? So grab your drink of choice, your knitting and crocheting, and away we go. So today I'm actually partaking in a nice cup of Betty's Tea Room Blend. Don't mind if I don't. It's new to me. Oh, love it. So I have here today my sister in all things knitting, Emily, aka Mercury.
Hi!
Mercury will actually be joining me in this very special episode of the show. I am so glad that you said yes to coming back to recording another episode with me.
Well, thanks for having me on again. It's a little easier being in person, I think. So we're recording in the beautiful location of scenic My Family's living room. We also have my beautiful sister, Katie, joining us.
Hi.
And also my husband, Paul, aka lag.com, is here with us.
Hello there.
And my hubby, MTI.
Hello.
In the background. Alright, and so I'll actually be doing a little bit of explaining about things going on. A new segment we're simply calling, let's move on, to, and now, a gaming breakdown. So, MTI and Lag, what game are you guys currently playing?
I'm playing Street Fighter 2 very badly.
I'm not playing anything at the moment, but I'm eventually going to join him, I believe.
Are you going to replace this annoying blank?
I will replace annoying blanket. Alright.
How's it going? Who are you selecting? Walk us
I
through
have
it.
no idea.
Remember, it's not a video, so you
Right. I'll be the Russian superstar Zangief.
I'm Ken, because Edwin wants me to be Ken.
I like Ken.
I remember how to do. Oh, I already have 2 points of shame, and I didn't even do anything.
Oh.
This work. So okay, that's that. Oh, ow. All right. So.
Before we get too sidetracked with them, we'll check in with you guys later. We're gonna move on to our favorite things.
Woo!
First things first, of course, getting together with friends and family.
Yes, indeed.
Fun.
Always.
Silver and MPI
Oh.
made the trek up here from Connecticut to visit my family in upstate New York, and, well, me, of course, too.
Yes.
I like it.
They're hosting us very nicely.
Yes.
Oh, no, it's good.
I love hanging out with you guys.
Aw.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to warn everybody, this enabling section is actually going to start off with Mercury and Lag kind of opening things up, so there's going to be a little bit of crinkling going on.
Yeah.
So if you have earbuds, now's the time to kind of turn it down a little bit.
That's not how you do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead. Start off
Silver
with the first
spoiled
one.
us because these are just presents in general and also belated Christmas presents, because it's really annoying to try to ship stuff over the ocean, and I definitely understand that. So I don't mind waiting a few months to get it here. So here's the first gift that I'm going to open. I'll open it away from the mic.
Good thinking.
Oh, how pretty! Thank you! Washcloths. They're very soft, but they feel sturdy. Thank you!
Yes.
And I love green.
Very beautiful greens.
Green, blue, red.
Combo.
Yes. Yes.
Yellow. Yellow too, yeah.
Okay.
All the colors that I like. Thank you, Jess. And then this feels like something also knitted. So that's exciting.
Yes. That one says solo for you.
Thank you.
Appropriate for this show.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
Oh, okay.
No. Oh my gosh. Whoa. stitch markers. Something fell, and I was like, what did I do? And a shawl. Thank you.
Yes.
That is so pretty.
Gorgeous.
Yes,
It's like on a bias. Oh, that's so nice. Look at the stripes in it.
That's the girl from the Grocery Girls
I love it.
pattern. That's on my project page. I'll link it now.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
I love greens and blues, and Silver has delivered with that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I'm gonna definitely get good use out of the stitch markers too.
Yes.
Okay.
I love them.
You
Little
see
balls
why
of
I was
yarn.
like showing
yeah.
off the...
And little hearts. Yay.
God, love those Ann tutors.
Okay, and then there is
Wasn't
a
really what I
big
wanted to do,
box.
but okay.
There is a big box. Yes.
That's a big box then.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Just gotta open it up because I taped it. In typical Silver fashion, everything is taped to the gills.
Yeah.
There are some specifically for lag in there.
Yeah, you've got presents in here, Paul.
You gonna do?
Okay. Oh, I see bubble wrap.
Yes. Like I said, in typical Silver fashion.
Well, I mean, it was going to be shipped, so I can understand that. Oh, I didn't get that side.
Yeah.
It would help if
Tape.
I actually opened the box properly.
Tape is awesome.
Okay. I'll take it.
Can't be defeated by some packing tape.
It's fine.
But you get it in.
Yeah.
Hiya!
Break your arms. Amazing.
You do karate chop, right?
There we go. I'm getting through it now. Ow.
Yes.
I'm okay.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Don't cut yourself.
Oh gosh, they're all wrapped too.
Yep. That's
Oh
why
my
I said
gosh.
there's a lot of crinkling. And this is in typical Silver fashion. Everything's got to be wrapped individually.
Is there anything in here? Or is this just wrapped up?
I think that was just because I was.
Yeah. It's just bubble wrap to insulate, so there's nothing
Yep.
in the bubble wrap. Oh my gosh, Jess, you went like insane.
A little
Quite a
bit,
few
yeah.
things in there.
I was gonna
You
say.
should take a picture of the box because it's insane.
We should do that. I'm gonna pause it a second.
Okay.
All right, now that she's got the picture. Because I don't know why I didn't think of that before I closed up the box.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
distracted by other cannon.
Yeah.
Get lost. You got something.
Remember, this is not a visual medium, so.
It's trying to. Oh, it's purple. Hello. What is this? Oh, sock blank. Thank you. It is from. Little Skein in the Big Wool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Watercolor sock blank in colorway Glen Ellen.
Exactly, it's nice and purple.
That is so pretty.
If you've never seen a sock blank, you actually literally rip it from the blank
Yeah.
and knit it up.
Yeah, because they paint it so that then you make socks out of it. So you unravel it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm a knitting newbie, so I
See?
have no idea.
Yeah.
I swear by the end of the weekend, we're going to have you either knitting or crocheting, right?
I just thought maybe you like sewed the sock together. I don't know.
Oh no.
What it is or whatever.
Yeah, they knit it first so that they can paint it.
They roll it out.
I get the feeling. Oh. Oh, how pretty! Jess gave me some socks.
Exactly.
And they're gold and purple and white. They are so
Yes.
pretty.
It's the Mercury pattern.
Oh my god! That's perfect.
Yes,
Mercury
there's
socks
also
for
a
me,
project
Mercury.
Page, I'll link it too.
Thank you.
They're cross-eyed.
Thank you. They're so pretty.
I love
Jess
it.
made me these.
And the colorway is Zelda.
You made Mercury socks in the colorway Zelda.
Exactly.
That's kind of perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. It's like Christmas and my birthday and my
Pretty
anniversary. And gosh. I know. Jess, you are just crazy. Oh my gosh.
And this is the pink marshmallow. Or
Oh
was it
yeah.
the hot chocolate with pink marshmallow sock?
Yeah, I remember we did a trade, didn't we? I made you gloves and you made me these socks. They're so pretty. I love greens and blues anyway. Oh my gosh. Look, little X's and O's.
Oh, that's so funny. I'll link this again on my project page.
Yay!
My viewers will know where those came from.
Oh, this is my flat. What's in
Yes.
here?
Something flat.
You're gonna make all your viewers, listeners jealous because I'm getting all these things and they're not. Oh, how nice! So this is a pattern for the Mother Bear Project, which you give to children in emerging nations. I would love to make a bear for this. That's so nice. Thank you.
Quite obviously typing.
That's awesome. I will definitely make a bear because I love making plushies.
Exactly.
Paul, we got a gift for you.
Uh-huh.
Here you go.
Yes. It's a Paul time. It's a Paul time.
How do you turn it?
Oh, well, while Paul is still playing, I will open another gift of mine, and then you should open yours.
There you go.
I'm in full backflip mode here.
Hello. What is this cylinder? Knitter's Keep.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Stitch markers, a ton of stitch markers, some tapestry needles, cable needles, a bag, and a silicone slap bracelet.
He's gonna need scissors.
Oh, here you go. Scissors?
Or not.
Oh, you're
But
fine.
I didn't
Yeah.
tape it closed, maybe.
Thank you so much.
Exactly.
God, so spoiled.
Everything you need.
I'm gonna have like a head the size of a Buick when I'm done. What did you get?
I got a Game Boy mode.
Oh.
That looks familiar.
Yeah. Does that actually do the same scene as mine does? Okay.
Thank you so much. Oh, so this is the bracelet.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
What it's a like a
Coffee in
metal.
style. You should go
Oh, is it a
alongside my
magnet?
Modoc
Yeah, so
mug.
it's a magnet, so you can put all the stitch markers. They're all magnetic.
Oh, that's a really good idea. That's so cool. Thank you.
I was like, ooh.
Look at
'Cause that's
me.
why I asked you, gray or blue?
Oh. Oh, ho, ho. All these questions ages ago that I'm just now like,
Yep.
oh, that's why she said that.
Dang it.
Oh, this is for both of us, Paul, so you want to open that one too?
Okay, I'll just wait for
I got another Emily one here. Oh, this is a box. A box inside of a box.
Box inside the box inside the box. It's something that I would put together, right?
Yeah.
But that you will definitely do.
Yeah.
for sure.
It is taped up. What's Paul got?
a bit of goldfish crackers.
Oh, yum! I love those.
Parmesan. Pizza.
Oh, yum!
Pizza.
Thank you. I love goldfish
You
crackers.
can thank MTI for that one.
Thank
He
you.
chose both of those.
Yeah,
Oh, just choose a few flavored
Get
ones.
some goldfish. I'm like, alright.
Well, no, they're like one of my favorite snacks, and I can't get them in England. So, oh my gosh! What a beautiful mug! Oh my gosh! Is this Hyrule?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Look at the bottom.
Funko Zelda. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much. I don't really know what to say. It's just like I'm looking at it. I'm like, hey, hey!
There's more to that. Hold
that
on.
does a lot of blood damage.
I thought it was pretty anyway because I love green and brown. So it's just like that, Katie.
I saw
Yeah,
that.
how's this
this-
involved?
And my husband, she doesn't see that
I'm like,
Another one for
today.
both of us.
Both.
And this one
Oh, this
says
one's addressed to both. It
Yeah.
can be a-
free for all.
Free for all means both.
Uh oh. Yeah.
Exactly.
What's that one?
It's the Legend of Zelda.
Oh, how
Puzzle.
cool! A puzzle. And it's like the Zelda like opening screen and like
Yeah.
little characters from it. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. I can see why this says free for all.
Let's see.
Oh,
Many crackers.
Extremely huge carton of goldfish crackers. Thank you,
Chad.
Jess. Yay! That concludes finally getting through all of my belated Christmas presents. Thank you!
You're welcome. Alrighty. Looks like you have one more that came on the list, huh? What else came in the mail for you?
Oh yeah, well just for myself, it wasn't amazing gifts from Jess, but I had to order more yarn to finish the socks that I started making last April. So I'd like to actually finish them this April. So while I'm here, I had to order another skein, and it's Garn Studio Drops Delight in beige plum heather print, and I also got some extra ones just because in rainbow mix, so they're really pretty too. Oh yeah, I also forgot about this while we were out today. my sister and I picked up some Zelda Backpack Buddies blind bag items, so we'll have to see what we end up
Yeah,
getting.
what you guys end up getting?
I'm intrigued.
I'll do it again. I know
Okay, what is this?
Yeah.
Hot Pocket.
It's the shield.
Nope. Nice.
Oh, nice.
So it's a little keychain of the shield from
We'll make sure to
Wind Waker.
include
I got
pictures
some bombs.
somewhere.
Yes. Ooh, you got bombs.
I'm the ball.
Bombs and shield.
Yeah.
Super thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fly across the screen. Yep.
that's an Ocarina of Time. Okay, so there's 2 more, aren't there?
Yeah.
What are the other 2?
I'm not sure. Oh, I can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, the quick.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. What we got?
Keep doing that.
Open
It's not
it.
working. Keep doing it until it's not working.
I got Ganondorf.
Whoa.
I got a jewel.
Nice. Hey, we got 4 different ones. That's actually nice. Yeah.
Is that geek or something?
Apparently.
Okay.
Yay!
Simple size of one mash.
Alright, I guess I should go into my stuff unless you
Yes,
got
you
something else
should.
hiding around.
I don't think so. I think that's probably it.
Well, let's see. I know something that just came in the mail is from Fat Funky Fibers, a colorway called Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh.
Because the name.
I love Nirvana.
Had to do it. I'll make sure I will put a photo directly here so y'all can see it.
It's charged, but
Also, when we got up
Just on
here,
credit. Didn't work.
there was a lot of goodies just hanging out for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of didn't have them wrapped, so Jess already saw what they were before recording.
Nah, it's all good. Like I said at the top of the hour, I did get some Tea Room Blend by Betty's. Oh, it smells so good, guys. I cannot wait to dive into that. There are also some Jaffa cakes. Of course, some Jammy Dodgers.
There it is.
Of course. That's Doctor Who. And also some roses.
And the caramel waffles, too.
Oh yes, the stroopwafels. How could I forget those? We did have a little bit of a trip today, too.
Yeah.
Should we mention that or wait until later?
Well, it's okay, because I mean, that's where I got my Zelda things, so.
Exactly. Well, we did go to the geek store up this way. Got a few Funko Pops. I will make sure to link below.
Yeah.
So MTI got himself a Bob Ross.
You don't have to bash very hard in this. to
Let's
get
see
that
what
on.
else did I get in there. I don't even remember now. I also got Hedwig, because Hedwig, of course.
Yes.
And I got myself a mug. And we also, sorry, the bag is right here. So if you hear
Real
crinkly,
top here,
crinkle.
incoming.
We got Jasmine as a Funko Pop.
Yay!
And Kyrie.
Awesome! Kingdom Hearts!
I imagine
Yes, for Kingdom Hearts. Exactly. Oh my gosh. So much stuff, y'all. So much stuff. Alright.
The living room is kind of covered in stuff.
Exactly. We're gonna stop and take a quick picture and then we'll move on to the next segment. Alright, and now a gaming breakdown. So, guys, how's the gaming going over there?
We are having great fun.
Yeah.
We are discovering the new strats.
You
Yeah,
no
you-
longer seem to be Zangief and Ken.
Yeah.
I'm a yellow guy.
Yellow guy, what happened? Blanco?
Yeah,
I believe his name
Blanco.
is Charlie, if
Yeah,
you remember
Charlie.
the movie. What's great is that is not true at all in the game.
No.
In the now legendary Street Fighter the movie, they changed some things around a little bit.
A little.
A little. So that Blanca and Charlie are now the same character, even though they are two completely different people in the game.
Has some interesting implications for Street Fighter 5, where Charlie comes back,
Oh, really?
and Blanca is also in it.
Yeah, that's right. Which makes sense. Oh, okay.
And MTI is playing as
I
Sagat.
am playing as Sagat or Sagat, as they call it in the animated series.
Oh. He's meant to be Thai, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's from Thailand.
Saget, I just think you're fighting as Bob Saget.
Right?
Mr. Clean, as they
Mr. Clean. Yeah.
I think by the end of it, we start calling him Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
No offense to Bob Saget, but yeah, that's what your character was. Ah! What?
I disagree.
Do you disagree with that assessment?
I do. The assessment was not accurate. I got that fireball
Right.
off in time.
Nope. Alright, since they've gone quiet, I guess we'll move on. Alright, we're moving on to FOs.
Yay!
Alright. So as usual, I did manage to finish 2 washcloths this past week, mostly to catch up for the beginning of April and this weekend, because I didn't want to bring the cotton with me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, the pattern I always use for this is Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth by Root Slate.
You, for some reason, get rid of
This
your
week has
skin.
actually been a colorway called Black Currant by Sugar and Cream Cotton. Yes. And I always use a size US 6, which is a Marbles 24 insert, and I cannot do the conversion in my head. My bad.
It's okay.
Alright, how about you, Mark?
I actually finished a table runner for my parents. I was meant to make it for Easter, but I didn't finish it in time. But I finished it today, so it's done now. Yay!
It totally counts.
There was no pattern for the runner itself, but I did use a stitch pattern called English Rose Tweed from knittingfool.com. I used 3 different colors of Red Heart Super Saver, Orchid, Pale Yellow, and White, and I knitted it on size US 11 boy aluminum straight needles. I also used a boy size J crochet hook to crochet a little edge around it so that it would lay straight, because I had big loops on the side that didn't look very nice.
Yes. It does look nice now. I'm
Thank you.
Staring at it.
No, my claw.
We have it
My
for good
face.
use. And we'll definitely link all of our projects and every picture
Yeah.
Up
down
here.
below and everything like that too, so that way you can
not like
follow
I'm good
along
at
if
this
you so
game.
choose. Alright, so apparently there is a category called Somebody's Got a Hoe.
Yeah, I got a hoe.
I was gonna say, because I didn't put anything on that
Yeah.
list. What'd you finish?
I finished one sock of those socks that I've been knitting since April, the caramel latte sock.
Yeah,
By April, I mean last April. Yeah, like 2017. So,
It was
half
still
done,
bad.
woo! And I have started the second one, but obviously can't really count that yet. But yeah,
Well, it's a hoe.
that's using the aforementioned plum beige heather print from Garn Studio Drops Delight. And I've been knitting it on US 0 Addy Sock Wonder circulars.
Right, and if you don't remember from last time, the pattern itself is called the Caramel Latte Sock
Yes.
by CC Almond.
CC Almond.
I'll link it
Awesome.
down below,
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to mention that.
No, it's fine. I wrote it down and I just forgot it.
It's all good. I got you. Alright, boys. Your turn. What's going on with the game?
I was gonna say, we don't have any finished objects, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, you finished games recently.
yeah.
That counts as a
Yeah.
finished object.
I have not finished any games recently. I am playing Cursed Treasure 2, which is a tower defense game with RPG elements. Or, as I tried to explain it to you, Plants vs. Zombies meets Zuma. With RPG elements.
The Element Age original, which is a very old school dungeon crawler game on the PSP, and it took me 45 hours. It's not a short game.
No.
I mean, they shouldn't be short.
All the more impressive that you beat it.
Yes, exactly. Like, I don't have the bandwidth. Sorry.
Or the appetite for punishment, but old school.
That's
dungeon
true.
crawlers
It's very
tend to
mean.
give you- It is mean, yes.
Uh-oh, I see
Yeah.
Guile.
So,
I'm not worried about Guile.
Not worry about Guile. Why not?
We both got yellow hair.
You both got yellow.
Yeah,
We're
because
really
we're
on
back
the
to
same
Ken.
size.
Ken and Guile.
Okay.
I'm coming.
It doesn't look like it's doing so well. Somebody's flashing KO, yo.
What?
Let's go. Oh.
Guile
Why are you
won.
breaking on
Oh
statues?
no.
there were statues.
How about you, Katie?
Excuse
Finished
me?
any games recently?
I have not. I don't
Oh.
play games
Okay,
too
sure.
much. I don't knit. I really don't have
You
much
got
to
that second
contribute, I guess.
No.
Sorry.
You can still enjoy our craziness. That's all that matters.
Here.
It always comes out.
Indeed. Alrighty. This is going to be probably a little bit of a section. What do you think? Because I
Yeah.
brought most of them with me.
Wow, yeah.
Because we're looking at the notes right now. So I think I'm just going to take a quick breather before we do that. Let's move on to works in progress. As I mentioned before, I do have 5 projects that I took with me to work on this weekend, and I've been getting a lot of work done. The first one I am going to mention as what I'm calling Stripey Heart. The pattern itself is called the Granny Stripes blanket by Attic24. Basically just going back and forth in the granny style. Granny square style. Wow. Say that 10 times fast. I'm basically using miscellaneous red heart scraps. I'm going to link as many as I possibly can in my projects page. Won't mention them all here because this weekend alone I think I've put 2 or 3 colors in already. I am using a size K hook, which is yes, it's a boy. I think is how you pronounce it. Boy hook, which is going to be a 10.5 or a 6.5 millimeter. Yes, I got that one right. The next thing that I am actually going to be working on eventually later on this weekend, I'm hoping soonish, I'm what I'm calling M Needs Warm Legs. Basically, they're leg warmers. Created by the Bernat Design Studios team. They call this pattern number 263, if you're looking for it on the website. Anyway, I'm using the Bernat Softy Baby Solids and Rolls in the baby pink on a size US 6, which is a 4.0 millimeter marbles.
You
It's a
started
16
the move,
inch
and then you watch
circular,
me
so
fly
I can just
over
keep
your head. You're like,
I figured it was good to
That's
be.
is good for leg warmers, yeah.
Yes, good for leg warmers. Also good for being social with. So work on it because anything with a pattern, I'm like, nope, not working. Let's see. Another thing I did bring to work on that did get a little bit of work on this morning actually was the Rhapsody in Socks, or what I'm calling Rhapsody in Socks. It's the toe-up socks with a difference by Wendy D. Johnson. Using Lolo did it in the everyday sock, the Bohemian Rhapsody colorway, because as you do. I am using a size US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter 9-inch circular needles. Yes, as CC calls them, zoom needles. Yes. The other project I've been working on is a project called Rainbows for Parkland. It's kind of a joke, don't worry about that one. Using CC's Vanilla Cappuccino Socks by Susie Allen. The yarn I'm using is West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply in the Palm Paradise colorway.
Oh, I sent you that one.
Yeah, exactly. I love that one. And it's very stripy and it's very rainbow-tastic. I love it. And I'm using actually a size 1.5 actually, which is a 2.5 millimeter 9-inch circular as well. So I can just keep going round and round and round. I love those needles, by the way. And the last thing that actually got a little love this morning as we were getting ready to go out was what I'm calling April's 3D socks. And this is also the toe-up socks with a difference pattern by Wendy D. Johnson. I am using Desert Vista Dye Works Viso base actually in the colorway poodle skirt because it is a adorable poodle skirt.
It does indeed.
And for these, I am using a size 1, which is a 2.5 millimeter 9-inch circulars as well.
2.25.
Oh, 2.25. Whoops, noodles. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right, and now since I have quite a bit on the needles, I'll let you tell. What have you been working on?
I started a pattern for a scarf for my dad's best friend, who's basically like my uncle. We call him Bean, so I've been calling this Bean's Diamond Scarf. And the pattern is literally just called Diamond Scarf, and it's by Patons, the yarn company. I've been using 2 colorways in Bernat Satin Solids, Loyal Royal and Grey Mist Heather, so it's like a royal blue and like a medium gray color. And I'm making that on US 7 Chiagu red lace circulars because I adapted it from straight to circular so I wouldn't have to worry about the floats in the back dealing with that. So
yeah, floats are a problem, even for me.
Yeah.
Let's see. I actually have a little bit of something that went to the frog pond this week.
Aww.
Little couple of somethings. I mean, I'm not really upset about it because it's been in the work for a while.
Yeah.
There's a shawl that I call Progressively Tangled. It's not that I don't like the pattern, because I love the pattern. honestly, I wanted the yarn for something else, and the needles are floppy as all get out. So those needles went in the trash can.
Rip it, rip it.
Finally.
And the other thing that actually went into the frog pond this week is what I was calling 12 is 9 and 13. It was basically the Red Heart 10-stitch blanket that I was doing.
Right.
Mostly because I wanted the yarn for this bucket. The one that's in my lap. Yeah, the one that I'm actually currently working on. And I just didn't want to work on it
I
anymore,
get
so
it.
probably.
I might have one more figure.
Yeah.
Anyway, you don't have anything that hit the frog pond at all, right?
No, I've been lucky enough not to have to this week, so.
Oh, that's awesome.
Alright.
Okay.
It worked. I threw the move I wanted to
Alrighty,
throw
and I do
for
see we
once in
have
my
a little
miserable
bit of
life.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
This is upcoming cast-ons or anything that you're jonesing to cast on. Because, yeah, honestly, I shouldn't be casting on any new items, but I'm still gonna add what I've put on the list for Wednesday, I think, because I still really want to get to those.
Well, yeah. It's hard to resist.
Exactly. How about you?
That
Anything
loses,
you got
doesn't
going on?
lose.
in
Yeah,
your
I want
Yeah.
to make this pattern called Lady Edith's Hooded Scarf by Jenny Williams. I need to get this done in time for my mother-in-law's birthday in not next week, but like the 21st of April. So we got to get that done so I can get it to her in time.
Woo, I wish you luck. I
Thank
love
you.
it.
It's a really pretty pattern, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, I definitely will have to link down below and look at it myself because I don't think I've done that recently, even though I had the show. Yes, spot on. Bad podcaster.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, and now a gaming breakdown. What's up with the game,
I'm
boys?
losing to Mark a lot.
I keep picking the top tier characters.
Yeah.
Guile versus Guile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Blue Guile versus Green Guile.
Yes.
Who's blue and who's green?
I am blue.
I am green.
Okay.
But oddly enough, my writing in the top is blue for whatever reason. And Paul's is the default kind of reddish orangey color.
It's not doing badly.
Seems like every time we come to you guys, you're always so quiet, man.
Yeah, you're just talking and talking, and then we actually ask you to say something, and then nah.
We are intensely in the game. I didn't even try to block that. That was good.
Aw.
Paul has been vindicated.
Yeah.
So which one of you is Jean-Claude Van Damme?
They're both Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
What I mean versus what I mean.
What do you think, Cody? You're doing a good job? Oh, now you're quiet too.
Yeah.
He's eating. Cody is my family's parakeet, by the way.
Yes.
Besides being in the Street Fighter movie, Jean-Claude Van Damme was also in a movie called Double Impact, which, as I understand it, was a better Double Dragon movie than the actual Double Dragon movie.
That would not be
Nice.
difficult.
To be fair, Paul is correct.
Bimmy and Timmy or
Bimmy and Jimmy.
Bimmy and Jimmy, is Double Dragon 3,
Yeah.
yes.
It's meant to be Billy, but they typoed it and it says Billy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the best part is that's not like a mistranslation thing because they completely changed the plot around
Yeah.
for the US version. They just flat out typoed
Yeah.
M's for L's.
Seriously, they can't leave anything alone. Alright, with that quip. How's it going, guys? Oh, got new characters now.
Yeah.
And Bison
Well,
versus
one new
Guile still.
character.
See, obviously, I don't know anything about the game other than you fight each other and the KO flashes
Yeah.
on the screen and.
Yeah.
What is a Street Fighter? I don't actually know the answer to that.
A miserable little pile of secrets.
There you go.
Woohoo!
Wait.
Close enough. What? Right, okay.
now Paul is Raul Julia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Raul Julia versus Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Nice.
I came expecting a man, but came across a god.
Oh.
Is it Tuesday? No, it's Saturday. No.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is it
Tuesday. Yeah.
I have it.
All right, let's move on to what we are reading and listening to. Let's start off with me, I guess. I have been listening to Weird Al Yankovic's, mostly his miscellaneous albums and crazy.
He is so good.
Oh, you did
Yes.
that. Okay.
And also have been listening to my Spotify playlist, what I'm calling Silver's Being Random playlist. I'll basically link it in the show notes. If you want to, you can definitely listen along. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
How about you, Mark?
I am still, as I was last time on the show, completely obsessed with Genesis. I'm just constantly listening to Genesis, Phil Collins, and Peter Gabriel. Like, yup, this is my life now.
Exactly.
The wall of nonsense.
They're
How can I
worse
win?
bands to be.
Thank you.
Oh, that's for sure.
I feel comforted.
I'm telling how it is, folks. How about you, Katie? What you been listening to?
I've been listening to the soundtrack for Jesus Christ Superstar. So, because
Going too.
I watched the new one on NBC on April 1st on
I did not do the move.
Sunday. and
I am
just
still
got
not
me
doing the
back into
move.
My love
Okay.
of that
I still didn't do the
soundtrack.
move.
It is so good.
Been listening to the original
Yeah,
cast
that-
recording from 1970.
Awesome.
Nice.
It's really good.
That is a good musical.
It is. So, MTI, what have you been listening to?
I can contribute to this. I've been listening to a bunch of different things, but I guess the one I will talk about today is the album And Justice for All by Metallica.
Yes.
Which was their 4th album and the first one they made after the death of, not their founding bassist, but the one they had as they started to get famous, Cliff Burton, who died unfortunately in a bus accident in 1986 while they were on
Yes,
Master of
yeah.
Puppets tour. So it is their most kind of progressive, kind of technical album, which is kind of a feat considering Master of Puppets. But somehow they made all the songs even longer and even more technical. And it is my personal favorite Metallica album. I would call it their best album.
Wow.
And it's also one of the albums that is kind of the most accurate snapshot of the band as it existed at the time. By which I mean, the bass is almost completely not even there in the mix of the album. And when you kind of hear about what they were going through at the time, it kind of makes sense, even if being a bass player myself, I would have liked more bass in the mix. The very short version is they're a bunch of, for lack of a better way to put it, drunken idiots in their early 20s who are mourning the loss of their bass player, their friend, their kind of father figure, really. And simultaneously kind of, giving the new bass player, Jason Newsted, if you read kind of a biography of the band, they will admit they kind of, gave him a lot of crap. They hazed him. Again, part of it just being drunken idiots, part of it being, them kind of processing the loss of Cliff Burton, honestly.
Yeah.
But, all that comes together and, you read out all this and you hear all this, it's like, oh, it actually makes a lot of sense how the album was mixed as it was. But that is what I've been listening to of late, so.
Alright, how about you, Leg? What you been listening to?
Afraid I can't contribute all that much. All I tend to do is just hit play and see what comes up on random.
Hey.
You'll shuffle special.
Hey, that's not bad at all.
And to be fair, he's also been listening to a lot of Genesis because I keep
You're
playing all the
listening to a lot of
Genesis. So
Genesis?
yeah, he can't escape it.
Poor man.
No.
Match win! Oh, what? My match stopped at exactly the
you
wrong
guys.
time.
They love each other. They're beating each other up in the game. Anyway, before I
I
get
can do
too
that.
distracted, I have actually finished a couple of books since we talked last. The first one I finished was what was called McFarlane's Last. So it was called by Glynis Campbell. And Dragon Hunter by Karina Wilder. And as usual, I have been listening to The Outlandish Companion by Diana Gabaldon. Alright, how about you, Mark?
I finished that collection of the complete Father Brown stories by G.K. Chesterton that I think I mentioned last time that I was still currently working on. So hey, I got that done. Woo! Unless I said I got that done last time, because I don't actually remember when I finished it. So I think I was working on it last time, but if not, you just heard that I finished it again.
Yay!
But currently I am reading Neuromancer by William Gibson, which is the book that apparently invented cyberpunk. So I've actually been enjoying it, but I'm not very far into it. I'm like on chapter 3, so I have to keep going and see how it gets. But I have been liking it.
Oh, okay. That's actually going to go on my Goodreads Want to Read, I think.
Yeah, it's really good. I borrowed it from my brother-in-law.
Oh, nice. Alright, how about you, Kitty?
I am currently reading the novelization of Star Trek Motion Picture by Gene Roddenberry.
Ooh.
It's interesting. I'll say this because it kind of goes into like what exactly Captain Kirk is thinking while the movie's going on. So it's actually a little more interesting than the movie itself.
That definitely sounds better, yeah.
Yeah. But it's cool because it's actually written by Gene Roddenberry.
Right.
As far as I understand.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying that.
Nice.
Finished anything recently that you care to mention, or
Let me think. Oh, I finished, it was called Vulgar Favors. It's about the hunt of Gianni Versace's killer,
Oh, wow.
Andrew Cunanan. It kind of got inspired, I want to say, when I saw the trailers for the new American Crime Story that was on FX recently.
Oh, cool.
And this was the book that show was based on. It was very well written. It kind of went into a lot of detail about Andrew Cunanan's life and, you know, kind of why he became the way he did, became a serial killer,
Right.
and how the times were affected by, you know, how homosexuals were treated in the 90s and how that community reacted to the killing of Gianni Versace. So it was very well written. I recommend it.
Cool.
Ooh, definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make sure we link all of the books that we mentioned in the podcast notes and down below too, if I can remember to do that. Yeah. All right. So MTI, what have you been up to? Reading and finished.
What have I been up to reading and finished? I don't know that I finished anything.
You finished me off.
Yeah. I
Finished him
Balrog.
off. Yeah.
I Balrog Paul in the game. I don't know that I've finished anything lately, but two books that I've been reading are... The first one is called Tribe of Mentors by Tim Ferriss, or Timothy Ferriss, because I don't know why. For one book, he went by Tim Ferriss, and for all the other ones, he's Timothy Ferriss on the cover, which is fine. But he went from Timothy to Tim back to Timothy, and I don't know why.
Okay.
But anyway, Tribe of Mentors is a book in which Tim interviews like a bunch of people, and he asks them all the same kind of set of questions to kind of see what patterns emerge. If you listen to the Tim Ferriss Show podcast, it is a similar thing.
Okay.
But a lot of the people in the book had not been on the podcast as of when it was published late last year. So it's kind of cool. It's, you know, kind of self-helpy, but that's kind of what I've been into of late. And then the second book is called Extreme Ownership: How U.S. Navy SEALs Lead and Win. And that is by Jocko Willink, who was actually one of the guests on the Tim Ferriss Show, and another SEAL named Leif Babin. And it's is again kind of a self-help book and tells you some of like the principles that Navy SEALs use in, you know, in war and how you can kind of apply them to business. And it's as they are Navy SEALs, you know, they tell some of the stories, but it's not really meant to glorify themselves or, you know, glorify themselves or war. Actually, the first story Jocko tells in the book is, you know, kind of the principle of taking extreme ownership, and it was a mission that went wrong. It was basically, there's what they call a blue-on-blue incident, basically friendly fire. And he discusses how he, you know, took ownership of the whole thing. You know, in the debrief, he was like, okay, whose fault is this? And, you know, kind of not small talk is made, but some of his reports are like, well, it's my fault because of this. He's like, no, it's not your fault. And this goes on 2 or 3 times. He says, no, there's only one person to blame, and that's me. And so I'm probably about a third of the way through that book. I've been kind of alternating between the two. So that's the other thing I've been reading, but it's it's something I've been trying to, as I work to kind of assume more leadership in some of my jobs, or my main job, I guess. You know, some of these are some of the principles that I've been interested in and kind of working on how to apply them to
Nice.
what I do.
Cool. Alright, Lag, what are you reading?
Well, I'm not very far into it yet, but I've been reading Dreams of Terror and Death, which is a compilation of Lovecraft stories around the subject of dreams in general. And, well, Lovecraft is some pretty difficult reading, I suppose. But it's very interesting. I've read some Lovecraft before, and I really like his style. So it's nice getting a kind of more focused collection, because he also he wrote mainly short stories, but there's some that were quite a bit longer than the rest, and delve more into kind of, well, what they call the mythos, I suppose. Like, usually the stories are pretty much isolated, but there's more connections between them in this collection. Also, the forwards by Neil Gaiman.
Nice.
It's always really fun to read.
Oh yes, another one that needs to go on my list. All right, so what you watching? This one's very light for me too. I've been actually watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, actually up until season 2, episode 3.
Nice.
Ever since I changed the notes. Yes. All right, how about you, Mark?
I've fallen into what people like to call idol hell. I have watched the entire anime of Love Live School Idol Project, and I absolutely love it. My favorite girl on it is Hanayo Koizumi. It's about a group of schoolgirls who decide to become idols, which are, like singing sensations in Japan, so that they can save their school, which would otherwise close. So by becoming idols, they can attract people to the school so that it will be able to stay open.
Oh,
And I just got the movie, and I really want to watch it, but I want my sister to watch the show with me so she can watch the movie with me too. I love it though. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
right,
this
right.
looks like it might be okay. Our friend Kari, who used to
Yes.
be on Silverton Treats with us, she recommended it, and she absolutely loves Love Live. So I was like, okay, I bite. I'm gonna give
Right,
it a try.
yeah.
Double
And now I
flowers,
love it
so-
too.
Good recommendation,
Yeah.
always.
Uh,
How about you, Katie? What have you been
I
watching recently?
haven't really been watching much anything, just MLB baseball. Go Yankees!
Yay!
But and I watched the A-Team when they had the marathon
Yes.
on El Rey Network.
Yeah, for April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
There's Mr. T pities the fool.
Exactly.
That was good.
That's one of my
As
favorite
you
shows
do.
ever.
That was so good.
So. But yeah, other than that, basically mainly watching Yankee games every night.
All right.
Go
Exactly. All right, MTI. Anything you've been watching recently that you want to share?
Twitch streams.
Streams. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Mostly the Twitch streams of Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, which is a randomizer for Final Fantasy IV. That the short version is it gives you the airship from the beginning, which opens up quite a bit of the game that would ordinarily not be open to you at the start. And it switches items around, and items, characters, that kind of thing. Bosses, not normal enemies, interestingly enough, and it doesn't. And it doesn't swap around their abilities like, say, the Dragon Warrior randomizer, where you'll be like, oh, a slime, oh, he Dragon Lord breathed me, I'm dead. Cool. It doesn't do that, thankfully.
That's a little nicer then.
Yeah, but there are quite a few other options for how much you want to randomize it, what you want to shuffle where, that kind of thing. So watching it tends to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
All right, lag you up. What you been watching? More streams?
Don't really. I haven't really been watching that much because I've been, working here. But I've been working more on my own stuff, really.
I should do some of that sometime.
Yeah. Guile playing that? Oh. I wasn't really paying attention when I chose my character.
Whoops.
It's fine, Guile's top tier.
Yeah.
That kind of segued right into a gaming breakdown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now for our final gaming breakdown. How about you guys do a final check-in with how the game's going? Any thoughts or anything like that to go with it?
Well, it looks like I've continued a few more times than Mark has.
It's kind of hard to tell, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far we've discovered, I believe, the entire roster is top tier.
Yeah, I
That's what
think
we've
so.
established, right?
Just whoever I'm not playing.
Right. It's whoever wins that particular match is the new top tier. So we've gone through most, if not all, of the roster at this point.
Okay.
But yeah, this would be a game that would be a little better with the traditional arcade setup as opposed to the Super Nintendo controller.
It's not ideal for hitting the heavies.
It's not correct. Yeah. They, for some reason, put the strong attacks on the shoulder buttons of the SNES controller, which is, it's not great. Particularly for super beginners like myself, who tend to just mash the heavy attacks. But it's fun. I have not actually played this game in years and years, so it's kind of cool to do so again.
Nice.
before I get distracted, let's move on to the end of the road. Yes, I did that. Anyway, I'm pretty social. You can find me on our Ravelry board, which is Silver Streamland Podcast. I am actually Silver Luna 2112 there on Ravelry.
Join us.
Exactly. On Facebook, Silver Streamland can be found at www.facebook.com/SilverStreamland. On Instagram, I am both Silver's Treats and Silver Streamland. On Twitter, I am at Silver's Knitting. I do happen to read through as many messages and as fast as I possibly can. However, if you don't hear from me within 24 hours, please feel free to email me directly at silverstreamland@gmail.com. And as always, anything that we have talked about here can be found directly at the show notes at www.silverstreamlandpodcast.com.
And if you liked what I've had to say here today, you can check out what I'm doing on Ravelry. I'm Mercury Zelda there. And as stated before, my Instagram is Mercury Zelda, and my Twitter is @Mercurial Knits. You can find all of my patterns on mercurialknits.com.
All right, and MTI, where can they find you on the interwebs?
The best place to find me right now is probably on Twitter. I am at mpi.com with dot spelled out, DOT.com. I have some other places that I very rarely check. I do have a website at mpi.com, oddly enough. I occasionally write posts and reviews of things that you can check out as well.
Cool. And did you want to mention your Twitch account or not so much anymore?
My Twitch account is also twitch.tv/mpi, but I haven't used it in about 6 months. So.
Oh boy.
6 months?
6 months.
I haven't streamed in, 3 years? It's been a while.
Oh, Lag, speaking of you, where can they find you on the interwebs?
Well, I guess Twitter's the best place. That's lag.com all spelled out because MTI copied me.
Well played, sir. Well played.
What about your blog?
It's lag.blag.blogspot.com. Okay? One of those two.
I think it works if you type either one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll make sure we link it below, too.
Yeah.
All right, and we've kind of rambled for long enough. We know your time is valuable, so please feel free to join in any discussion, or you can start your own on the Silver Streamland Ravelry board. I don't bite, I promise. So please stay tuned for episode 42 on the 18th. On behalf of myself and all my guests, happy crafting!
Happy crafting!
Bye.
Bye-bye!
They made it so that you could do agony or chicken wing thing or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
With a Shoryuken motion instead.
Oh, okay.
Or rather both.
Yeah.
God.
I'll take the hit to the face because I
God,
win.
I'm sure you could have. Through it. What the hell? Sure you could have even through. I think Sagat's is slower though.
Yeah.
You have to defeat Shenlong in this version.
That's right.
How would you get a circle on a D-pad? It's
Yeah, I know.
impossible.
It's, yeah. Even sort of like quarter circle and half circle motions, or even just down up.
Yeah.
I'm like, Hadouken, wait, I'm jumping, what?
Yeah.
Excuse me?